So as you know, we first had a session that we in the morning where we presented the main features of VIRQUAL. I see some new faces here. I'm not sure if you're acquainted with VIRQUAL. I can just do some 5 minutes presentation just to have everybody speaking of the same thing. Okay. But what we'll do next is we're going to split into groups. So we're having a group that will be working on the teacher perspective, another group working on the student's perspective, and we're very lucky because we have 3 very interested students here. And that's, if you go to conferences, unfortunately, it's something that we usually don't get, students. So we're very lucky to have students here. And so we have a group working on the teacher perspective, another one on students, and at the end we can have a discussion about institutional perspective. But I think it's good to have the hands-on on teacher and student. So I just go to overview the slides. So the general aim of VIRQUAL is to increase mobility. And so we have this diagram that shows that a learner that from a given country should be able to go to a second country and have some course, and then go to work in a third country and have all these competencies recognized. So the ones that he got in his original country, the ones that he got on the second country, and be able to work in a third country and have everything recognized. So to achieve real mobility, and this should be because we're working in virtual environments also in e-learning. It should be possible to do it virtually also. So these are just some notes I took from the keynotes, but it's to do with the project. That the common language was referred as learning outcomes, a common paradigm based on assessments. And we should be all promoting partnerships for collaboration between institutions and use the Bologna tools. So this is to do with the VIRQUAL. Also that learning is everywhere, and this was meant to be related with informal learning, but also informal learning, formal. Learning is already everywhere because many institutions are working online. So there should be this opportunity for students to take courses in different institutions. So we should promote flexibility and new approaches based on national qualification frameworks, European qualification frameworks, learning outcomes, and use the Bologna tools like ECTSs, diploma supplement, things like that. So there are now new roles for staff, students, teachers, and institutions, and we should increase transparency. So the general procedure here in VIRQUAL is that courses should be defined using learning outcomes. So, and learning outcomes should be defined in such a standard way that everybody understands them. So teachers, institutions, students, we all know what we're talking about. So we propose a template for defining learning outcomes. Also, we should use or should be using the qualification frameworks at European level, at national level, or even at a worldwide level if they exist, to relate competencies that are acquired. So if a student takes a course in another country, he should know to which level of the European qualification framework that course belongs to. So he can then bring that qualification to his own country and have it placed in the national qualification framework. So this is the transfer of qualifications and recognition of competences. So this is just an example, because in this project we also defined a matrix for defining assessment for each level or each type of learning outcomes. So this is just a sample. So we have the EQF learning outcomes, and then for each learning outcome and each level we propose which assessment methods could be used. It's just a proposal. It's not something very rigid. And this finally, it's an example And this is in the manuals that we were talking about. So, for example, an engineer in Italy wants to learn about project management, so he searches online courses in project management. And then he's going to check if the course has defined the learning outcomes in appropriate ways, and if so, it chooses one, and then he checks the compatibility of the learning systems. We have defined an interactive grid that compares the qualification frameworks of different countries and relates them to the European qualification framework. Also, we can look to the assessment methods that are used and see if they match the assessment matrix that we propose. And then from the employer point of view, it can also use our tools to see if the qualification that the student shows or the new worker shows, how they relate to the qualification framework and to the national qualification, for instance, in this case of Finland. So this is a very broad overview of the project. And we have some samples of the manuals, of the guides, user guides. So we have a user guide for institutional, a user guide for students, and user guide for teachers. And also we have some computers that we can work. I'm not sure where they are active. The computers that are active, which ones are? They're all? Todos. Yes, over. Okay, we can use computers, any computer, but the ones on the first row. So I would propose then that we would split into groups, and the ones with working with the teacher perspective should be joining Gottfried, and the ones with the student perspective should be joining Sergi and Branca. And we can do this for, I think, 1 hour, and then we can discuss the institutional perspective. So should we split? I don't know. Yeah. Sí. Sí. So we're going to distribute the guides. Okay. So I've just wrote some possible. It's not something you have to do, but it's just some topics that could be used in the analysis. So, would you use this module to achieve mobility? So, for instance, from the teacher perspective, would she use the template to define the learning outcomes, to describe the course, and the tools? Also, from the student perspective, do you think this makes it easier to achieve mobility for the students, makes things more clear? So what are the good aspects of the module, the bad aspects, how we can improve it? Or if you know other tools that we should be using to increase mobility for students and teachers and institutions. So this is not, you can ask other questions, but just some suggestions. Hello? Okay. If you don't mind, we have this session. Branca. Okay. I was thinking that this session was going to be over at 4:30, but it's not. It's over at 4. So we have to sum up now. The leaders of each group are going to prepare a report. So there is a paper going on where you can fill your contacts, and we will send you the final versions of the guides and also what the reports from this workshop. It is going to be published online anyway, but you'll have it sent to your email. But in this 10 remaining minutes we would like to hear from you. So if you want to share with us your perspective on this model, we would appreciate it. So Sevgi, I was saying that we would want to hear your experiences. So if somebody from the students group and somebody from the teachers group could tell us their ideas on the model. Should we start by teachers? Okay. I think it should be done. Okay. So, I don't know. Does anybody from the teachers group can give us feedback? Yes?
Okay. I'm sort of muddling my way through this on Moodle. I have understood some things, but now I was trying to be a little bit more explorative, so I chose my own subject, and I found the code for it, and some other categories I was able to identify, and I got stuck. But what I understood when I asked the question, look, I am writing a course, I write my own outcomes, my own description, outcome and assessment, and then what do I do? And I was told that then I compare it to the different levels, and that's good enough for me. That's very helpful. Plus, you know, whenever I learn to use this, it will be more helpful.
Okay. Thank you. Some other opinion from the teacher's perspective? Yes?
In my university in Scotland, we've been using learning outcomes for some time in writing both programme specifications and learning outcome and module descriptors. So this, I think, we could adapt quite easily and just upload the information, which would be really, really useful.
Sorry. Thank you. So from the teachers, do you want to say something? No? Okay, should we listen to what the students have to say now?
Yes, you can say anything that we've just spoken. I think it's very interesting, this virtual model. About the learning manual, I think that it should be also improved, but all clear for students.
What were your expectations before, and now you understood what the...
I mean, it's, yeah, as she's already said, it's useful, but it's not not so easy to understand what are the how it works. But I mean, it's it should be more clear. You know, it's difficult to make it clear, but it's interesting. But I don't know how it works, because it depends on the institution, as they told me, and if they if it will be not recognized. I don't know how to say it.
But it's useful for you to find a suitable course, that you find a course and whether it's suitable to your needs, that would help you to achieve it.
Yeah, of course, that's useful, of course. The problem is how to find it a suitable one. It's because it's myself, it's just myself that have to check it. So me alone have to find the suitable one. So it should be a model. It needs that should be the most easy possible, because me alone have to do everything. So to check, find the institution, check the other one of the other country if it's suitable for me. We need a
Guidelines of courses that are available, for instance.
what?
Do you think that maybe this should be there should be a database of available courses that the student could
Yeah,
see
that's.
and look for?
But if I want to, if I'm looking for something, for a subject, it's not me that have to find alone, but there should be a database where I already know which one is suitable for me. It's the institution that decided to do it. They are already put inside the database, so me having to check by myself. I just go into the database of VIRQUAL model and I see which one is suitable for me. And so it's easier, because already it's not easier to see if my institution will accept it. So like this, it's something that it would be easier, and you don't feel alone where you don't know where to turn.
That's a good contribution. Yeah.
I'm sorry for my English.
No, I think
Okay, thank you.
I noticed too that there are some differences from different countries. We are Italian, we speak with other countries, and there's a difficulty because the methods of are very different. So for me, it was difficult to understand this program. I had an Italian mind. And the other thing is that I think that it depends on how the institutions and the university spread this to the students, because students are people who are ignorant. They don't know anything. So it's important, don't make anything, come si dice per scontato? Non, easy, because you are adult, but a student doesn't know anything. So if the institution spreads this information in a good way, it's very cool. It's very good and useful. But sometimes the student has no, it's not able to deal with this institutional, this bureaucracies, because it's not used to do this. Yes, yes, accreditation, and so also the programs, the teachers, because I don't know if a teacher is good or not, if a course is valid or not, because I don't know anything about this that topic. So if I read a list of topics, of arguments, but I don't know anything about this, or I can or check it on internet, or I have no capability to understand what's better. This is.
Okay, so just to finish, we'll have we'll have a round table, So we have the coffee break now, and we'll have the round table at 4:30, and we will have in the panel for discussion these students. And I think it's important because they've raised a lot of questions and made us think a lot better and gave very valuable suggestions in the student perspective that we forgot how it was. And also we'll have a perspective from the United States. That's also because they've been dealing with the learning outcomes for a long time also. So I think it's going to be a very interesting discussion. So other questions, other suggestions you have, so please join us at 4:30, okay? So thank you so much for being here and for helping us. And if you fill your contacts, we'll send you all the papers and things about this, okay? So please join us after coffee break.